So, a few minutes ago, as I'm recording this video, Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary, or should I say former Home Secretary, has been sacked by Rishi Sunak after announcing a reshuffle. Woohoo! And this comes after she basically incited fights with police yesterday with EDL members and protesters, who are pro-Palestine. This is a great day to be British because, if you didn't know, Suella Braverman is a cunt. And the specific reasons on why she is a cunt is the following. One, describing people who are homeless or, poorer in general who can't afford homes at the moment is a lifestyle choice. So remember, guys, if you're homeless out now, if you're ever struggling with money and you end up having to lose your apartment, losing your thing, your house, or whatever it is where you're living, that is your lifestyle choice. You're choosing that. You are choosing to be poor. And when she was describing the issues with homeless people, how many homeless people there is in the UK, as it's obviously skyrocketed right now with prices going up and other specific reasons. She said people who obviously live in tents in these public areas, whether it's in a city centre or maybe just wherever, they shouldn't be allowed there. You shouldn't be allowed to have a tent if you're homeless, pretty much. Obviously, quite a few things happened yesterday on Remembrance Day. I'm assuming everyone knows what Remembrance Day is, but basically, they were protests in regard to the Palestine and Israel situation, which I'm not going to talk about too much as that's a topic for another day, and I don't really think I need to make videos on that. But you know what I mean? There was protests in the UK about what was going on in Palestine with obviously civilians casualties being so high and everything from Israel. And Suella Braverman described the people that were protesting and all this stuff as Hamas supporters, which Hamas is obviously that terrorist group, and basically encouraged fights. That's all I'm going to say. And EDL members, Tommy Robinson, who obviously led these people, there was basically a lot of fights with police. People ended up getting arrested. So much footage of EDL members, obviously trying to cause violence. Now, I'm not saying any pro-Palestine people didn't do anything wrong, but obviously EDL, from what I saw, was the majority of people that were causing these fights and causing fights with police. And this came after the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman at the time, basically encouraged all this shit. And just to give further insight in the type of character Suella Braverman is, she described immigrants in such horrible ways, and when obviously people have to flee the countries for different numerous reasons, which I'm not going to go too full into detail of, but whether it's because of their gender, because in some countries, obviously, if you're a woman, you could be treated like shit, or if you're a different sexuality, like if you're gay or bisexual, you could be treated horribly. So people, and obviously their lives could be in danger. So people that are fleeing to a country where it's far more acceptable, like here in the UK, they would not be allowed, pretty much. That's what Suella Braverman said. So even though their lives are in danger, which is usually the main reasons why they have to come to this country, they're not going to be allowed here anymore, at least when it was under her watch. And obviously, saying that kind of thing makes people angry. And how she's treated the people who are poor, of how they've handled the last 13 years, is disgusting. Now, oddly enough, this isn't the first time Suella Braverman has been sacked as Home Secretary. So I think it speaks volumes to when the person that you put in charge of being the Home Secretary is being sacked more than once on the same job. Does that not say a lot about something about her? Now, I know I've been quite harsh and biased against Suella Braverman, and I usually try not to be in these videos, and I hope you guys can agree with me there that I've tried not to be. But in this case, I don't give a shit. These people, the Tories usually, because they're obviously been in charge for 13 fucking years, have fucked this country left, right, and centre. With the highest cost of living crisis ever, we have homelessness on a rise never seen before in this country. Prices have skyrocketed for, pretty much everything. And people like me who are lower class and people who are hell a shitload more poorer, homeless people especially, are at risk. And the fact that she's describing them in such horrible ways and pretty much doesn't give a fuck about them obviously is a problem. And the fact that now she's encouraging pretty much violence towards people that just disagree with her and that have the right to protest, regardless if she agrees with them or not, speaks volumes on the type of character she is. And honestly, I'm glad she got sacked. She should have been sacked ages ago. She never should have been the Home Secretary. She's a disgusting, racist individual who I hope never becomes a person of power ever again. She's a disgusting, vile little bitch, and honestly, she has no sympathy for me. She's gone. I'm glad. Honestly, these last few years have been really hard. Trust. I'm more of aware of that than a lot of people. Now, obviously, I don't know how well this video will do. I know Suella won't definitely see this video. But if she ever does, go fuck yourself, Suella. Peace. Bye. Bye. Fuck Tories. How you gone? You're fired.